Okay, so we're working on Tenchi Nage, but there's some very key basics that you're missing. Let's do a little bit. Because you're doing the body mechanics your way. I thought it was arbitrary why I'm doing it my way. Okay, so we're gonna pick 3 things, and it'll probably help a whole lot of techniques. So the first one is the connection, and then the second one is the arm spiral, and the third one will be the entry ashi sabaki, the footwork. Okay, so on the first one, you don't just open like this. You can't have the center line just be a freebie. Okay, that's not the technique. So the technique is first going to bring them up towards heaven and then turn them and drop them towards earth. Tenchi Nage means heaven and earth row. But it's not just a matter of one hand down and one hand up. Remember the Taoist principle of concentric truth. If it's one hand down, one hand up, it's also going to be up and down throughout. Okay? So first they go up, then they go down. So how do I do this? I can't lift my hands because I can't put the articulation point in her shoulders. See that? But when you think up, you go hands up. We have to solve for the solution in a different way. So my elbows are going to drop. Do you see that? And once my elbows drop, I have the angle that you wanted when you brought your hand up. So keep your grip. When you bring your hand up, do you see the elbow? You see that? I'm going to do it the other way. I'm going to drop my elbow. You see that? So I try to leave my hands as still as they are. I drop my elbows, and then I can lift into her. So drop my elbows. Don't go back to this. Drop my elbows and lift into her. So to lift into her, it's the same spiral you do with your whole arm, like you're going to do shomanuchi. The shomanuchi doesn't go like this, right? The hand rotates, the wrist rotates, the elbow rotates, and the shoulder rotates. Do you understand? So that's what I mean when I say I lift. So I lower my elbows, and then I start the lift. And then you have her up there. Okay? So here, lower, and then the rotation starts. Okay? Let's try that part.
Running.
So some ways of helping you. I drop. I don't want to do the wrist cycle and the elbow cycle in a way that I'm trying to come out like I'm escaping. Do you understand that? I'm going to fill her grip. That's what I want to do. Drop and fill her grip. Fill her grip. Do you understand? At the same time, I don't fill her grip where I keep my hands where my wrists are. Do you see the alignment? That's incorrect. So I don't, it's not a lifting at the elbows. Do you see that? I'm coming out, aren't I? Okay? And my hands are coming back towards me. Do you see the distance to my torso? So it's more of a forwardness. Do you see that? So it's totally different because I'm coming out, and it'll be noticed because your hand is in the same line with your wrist and your forearm. So I drop, and then, boom, I'm filling that grip up and lifting it. And I lift like I always do from here. Down, oh. Get it out of your shoulders, set. Okay, let's go. Okay, so I don't want to be out here. There's a plane here and I'm staying on that plane. there's going to be an energy that's going this way. So she comes up and it's going out. So when I yield, my elbows tend to come in. So I can't really keep my arms here and drop my elbows too much without bringing the hands back a lot. So when I bring my elbows in, I can get underneath and my hands aren't coming too far out of that plane. Do you understand? So I'll do it the two ways for this point. So I'm dropping my elbows, but see my hands are coming back. And if I drop my elbows in, they don't really come back. So we're just gonna give her a little second point, is there's an entry. Remember, I don't wanna open the center line. Okay, so we're gonna demonstrate that by you can make her go that way, not just up. Okay, so elbows, oh, okay, try it. Elbow point. So this elbow comes down to create that arm angle, and then the thumb moves. Now it can't go anymore. You see that? It goes till it completes its cycle. And then when I use the elbow, it's not that it hinges. You see that? It's that the elbow, so I drop the elbow, then the thumb, and then the elbow starts its cycle, which is not this, but this, okay? And once that elbow starts to move, so elbow down, thumb, I can't make it go anymore. You see, it reaches a tightness. That tells me to get the elbow to start moving. Now here's the thing. Once the elbow starts moving, you see that? You guys will go, I'm done with the hand. And so if you do move the elbow, so some of you are going here, here, and then you leave the elbow there and you think you're moving it by hinging it, and you don't want to hinge it. Okay? Then those who are moving the elbow, right, will leave the hand, and now you're going to have the straight wrist. You see that? Because you didn't keep it going. So I want my elbow to kind of have an energy where it is in front of my hand. Do you see that? Not even with my, so I go underneath, oh, do you see that? And it keeps going, okay? So I'm just taking that technique and using it like a hundredth of a second, okay? I'm not using it to flip him. I'm using it to bring him in and then to keep his shoulders back and let his feet go by. Then the other hand movement is to take that whole, bring it in, lifting him, shoulders going by, and rotate it on an axis. Do you understand? So that, I don't want to go like this. So it's just very small. He comes in, and then we're rotating. Okay? All right, try it.
Hey, running.
You're not, I say you have to tilt it and rotate it, but you have no idea how to do that, okay? So let's look at let's step out of that drill, okay? And one arm from here, because he's leaning on me now, do you see that? That's why I could project Maya. So one arm from there is gonna go like this. Okay. So it's gonna disappear going here. And there's your figure 8. That's your same Kodagaeshi. He goes this way and you're here. That's your Kokyu-Ryoku, right? He goes this way and you're here. See that? So you load him up. He's using you for balance. And you take away that hand. Not like this. Do you see that? You have to make the pattern. It goes this way, and then we'll finish this way. So I load him up, boom, and I go this way. This hand cannot contradict that. It loads him up, then it's going to disappear, not by going yin like the other hand, but by going up inside. But if you pay attention, this hand is making his body do that same pattern. Here, boom. See that? So now I have tilted it. So connection, now he's on me, and now I just reconcile all of that with my two hands. Ooh. Got it? But this is Aikido, so my body does that. These arm patterns are just doing this, the heart shape. Everything else happens because my body is changing trajectory. Got it? So I'm always just doing this, and I'm making my body move. So if you go here and you go like this, it's gonna look kind of weird. So I move my body. Whoa, and he's in. See how my body's moving? Okay, try it. So the second element we're gonna work on is the arm. So you guys are doing something different. I'm going to try to describe it in multiple ways. You're making your hand go on a circle, and your elbows going on a circle. There's like two circles. There's one here, and there's one here, and you're going like this. So you do the technique, and then you go like that. If I use this plane here, and I make a circle, it'll be a half moon onto this plane. So I go boom, boom. You see that? That's not it. What I want to do is imagine like there's an ink spot here, like an ink roller, okay? And I want it not to touch that part and then be on the other side of that same plane. I want it to travel all around my arm. You see that? So it's like a coiling snake. So however I start, let's say I'm here. At the end, I'm going to end up on the other side, outside. So I go one, you see? I'm coming on my other side there. When I hit here, this outside, this part, is touching the jaw, not the inside of my arm. So I'm going, one, tracing that line all the way around. Do you see that? Do you guys see that? I'm going to touch the inside of my arm. Do you see that? Okay. When I stay like this square plane, shoulders, hip in alignment, you're going to feel tightness. You do want the torque, but it's going to be too much. I was like, oh, that's going to get tight, right? And when I turn, I took off that. You see that? When I come back, it's on it, and I turn a little. You see that? That little hip shift is what we're going to do in the third element we're going to correct. But right now, I want you to kind of ink roll a snake coiling around your arm, where you end up with the outside of that elbow at the top, right, and touching the jaw. Do you see that? Not like this. Not part way, right? Do you see that? Okay, try it. Make that point again. So I'm not making a circle. Let's just round it off to a foot. I'm not making a circle a foot away from me and another equal circle 6 inches away. That's not what I'm doing. Okay? I want to keep the yin and the yang going at every level. So as you watch this, this is what makes it a spiral. So as my arm, this arm is more, the hand is more in than the elbow. Do you see that? Okay? So as it starts to move, the hand is going out. Do you see that? And the elbow is going in. Okay? And as I come around, the elbow is in and the hand is out. They're not on the same plane. As the elbow, the hand is starting to go up, the elbow is going down. Do you see that? As the hand is coming in, the elbow is going out. As the hand is starting to come down, the elbow is going up. Do you see that? So they're not doing the same thing. I have a spiral, and they're always harmonizing those yin and yang aspects. They're not doing the same thing. It's not a yang arm or a yin arm. It's both at different points. Okay? Do you understand? So lose this stuff. Right? Boom. Boom. And for this throw, this inner part, this outer part is got to be the top inner part at the end of the technique. Okay? So this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. I don't care about the throw. I care about the movement. The movement. Do you understand? I'm going to use that in a million different ways, even just at a conditioning level. Right? I might just hit you with a boom, but it'll have decades of that torquing, and it will not be the same as somebody who didn't spend decades doing it. You got it? So the spiral is helping me torque all of those tissues and condition them. And as I'm torquing them, I'm reducing the lack of integrity in the joints and in the tissues. Okay? So try to keep that going. Yin and yang, standing up on the Jogo. Now we're working on the second element of the arm. I don't care if you get the first element anymore. Right? You want to do like that. It's fine. Okay? But if you want to work it, his head is now the Joe. None of you knocked the Joe over. You all just traced around that. So I'm not knocking his head over. I'm just tracing around that. Okay, so that's all I'm doing. Can you see that? So at the end, that part, right, if he's still up, is going to touch him. I'm not going to go like this with, see that? It's going to go around. So around the energy. Okay, let's try it. Like that, you guys are using your arm as a throwing mechanism. What did we use the arms for? What do they do? We already did it. What are they? They're turning the axis. That's all they're doing. Got it? You guys are trying to knock them down. So what happens is once you feel that, then you're like, got you, bitch, and you go to that. But now you're not doing the yogic training, the tissue training, and it doesn't actually work. If they're bigger than you, you're going to get jacked. If they have a weapon, you're going to get jacked, right? So you have to discipline yourself just to work the pattern. Don't do the throw. Do the pattern, and the throw just happens. Okay? So I will feel him. Oh, do you see, I feel that. I feel him right there. Do you guys see that? Stand up so you can see. Do you see that? I'm not gonna do the Harlem Globetrotter, right? Pump the ball from the bicep to my wrist. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna keep the pattern going. The pattern, right? Oh, he fell off. I don't care. I'm not gonna go here. He fell out. It doesn't matter. I keep the pattern. Okay? The throw doesn't happen with that. The throw happens with my hip. Right here. Right here. This is the throw. Okay? So he's here. Right? It's not knocking down this. It's displacing this. That's the throw. So all my arm was doing was tilting. That's all. I just do the pattern. Okay, try it again. Okay, third element. And this has been before you for decades on some of you. I'm not throwing them. I like to say I'm creating a geometry for falling. Okay? So I don't need a bracing angle or even a hip rotation to get the throw to happen. The person was already falling. Do you understand? So, and why is that important? Because that means that I have redundant elements, and you need redundant elements whenever you're going to try to be martial. Things fail, okay? So you should be able to do the throw without even entering. Okay, so that means therefore my stance is not really the throw in terms of the acceleration. Do you get that? So I'm not accelerating them. So I don't need a bracing angle. I don't need a hip rotation, right? What I want to do is to get this hip. I create that opening, and the head is going this way. His feet are going up in the air, so I'm rotating that. And I'm going to now shorten the rotation, which means you will have less capacity to spin out of the technique. Can you understand? So if he's here and I do like a big thing, he can kind of turn over this way. But if I do it where I'm right in here and I just spin this part, it's very hard for him to turn belly down. Do you get that? You can't turn belly down. So I got it tilting, and then I'm gonna change the axis of rotation with my body, and that will help this thing. As I rotate around his center, I'm also moving his center through space. Do you see that? So his center is moving through space, and now it's spinning around itself on my hip. And you can't go belly down. Okay? So it's this is the action. So this is your drill. You're going to put a foot at a diagonal and bring the other foot here. And you're going to push in. Ground this leg, push in. You will have more weight on this leg at the end. You see that? So I'm not going this way, right? I'm not going that way and then turn. I'm already turned. Boom. Already turned. So your guy is there, right? He gets in that position. I put this foot, where do you put that foot? That foot is going to be behind his other foot, so that this foot can move out in a trajectory where that foot's pushing. Okay? So if this foot is here, and I try to get behind this foot's not pushing.
Right.
Do you understand? So this foot has to be, it can be a little shy, like I got some of his heel. Do you see that? That'll get my hip even closer, but it can't be to such a degree that it's no longer pushing anymore. So, and back, and then I'm close enough that my hip will make his hip move. Got it? But I'm going to do that when he's here. So I'm just moving it. Okay, try that drill. Okay, so let's say I'm doing Aikido, right? This is the exact same thing. So if I move my hip towards their armpit, do you see that? That's a big rotation and no displacement. Okay? I have to come right by the hip. Right by the hip. Do you see that? You guys remember that? So when you go to the back, it's the same thing. You can't come towards the armpit. You're going to rotate them a lot with no displacement. You're going to get countered, and you're not hitting the back of the head on the street, so you miss the target. They're going to roll. Okay? So I have to, right there, my hip goes in. Boom. You see that? You can think of it this way, right? If she turns towards me, she's in, turn your body. She's right in for the Kokyu-Ryoku. That's how close I am. Okay? So, I'm going to hit that. Your stance is so unstable right now, right? Come over here. Does everyone understand that?
Yes.
So remember, they're up and they're turning. It doesn't take much. So, I'm going to come in and hit that here. Boom. Okay? Try it again. So his body's coming in, it's being brought up, it's starting to be tilted. I'm going to take his head this way, and now I'm making his center move in space and continue that tilt. Did you get it? Okay. So, well, when my foot enters, it doesn't enter like this. That's going to push him out of the technique. Right? It doesn't enter like this and then does that turn. That's throwing him with that arm. Okay? So, you guys have missed this. My foot enters for the hip. You see that? And this knee follows the rule of the Yumiyashi. I bring my knee to my toes. That's the rotation that you guys think is that. You see that? Or that people do worse that. I'm moving in just like you were, and then boom. That's it. I bring the knee to the toes because that foot is now activated for forward progress. Okay? If you pass that, you're here, and you pass that, your weight is going to come back towards the other foot. You're going to have a weak structure here with the knee here. So you're not actually entering, you're actually going out of the technique. So you're going to do the same thing. You move in, and there's a tiny little shift of the knee forward because the hip is connected to the ankle and the knee. That's the hip rotation that you have been trying to make. So we're here, and I'm moving in. Boom. We're going to bring the arm in. I'm going to bring the coiling snake. Boom. No, it's fine. Here, displace. Okay, let's go.
Taylor.
So now I'm just working that forward. It's just the pattern I want. I don't care about the throw. Just torquing tissue. Okay, let's try it. Put it all together. That's it. As his head hits your arm, your discipline keeps the pattern. You don't let it attract you to shoving it down, okay? Keep going. Missed element 1. Keep going. Remember to start a turn. Don't get stuck on the heaven hand, the earth hand. Your hand goes like that. Okay? Watch your eyes. Hold here. So let's just focus on the earth hand. So right here. Okay? It's gonna go across. You see? Then out. And not straight. Create the initial angle cancellation. You see? Right here. You see that? I'm on the outside of the elbow and the shoulder's right there. Okay? Not here. You see? I'm on the inside. Okay? So it's 1, and what's happening is you're anxious to get to that. And you don't want to be. You want to go here. Okay? All right, keep going.
It's too much for me.
Okay. Just keep loading the hip. Okay. Keep the spiral. Don't do Yuri Dimi Nage. Do this new pattern. Oh, that was terrible. You're pushing his head. Get the coiling snake around your arm. On your entry with your handwork. You don't do one and then the other. Stay near the hip, get away from the armpit. Try it again, you went to the armpit.
Yes.
Let's go, let's go. Hit. You know what to do is get rid of the idea of the north-south 12-6 line. You want this thing rotating, okay? Don't come back to the wall from where he came from. That'll bring you into the armpit. The fight has rotated. Better. Watch your head height. back on the joke.
はい。
All right, let's stop there.
はい。
Thank you very much, Sean.
Take it there.